couch cushions. The judge's ruling is a crucial turning point in a dispute that pitted Franklin's sons against each other. One son argued that the paper should override a 2010 will that was found inside of a locked cabinet at the Queen of Soul's Detroit home. Well, Franklin did not leave behind a formal will. In fact, it was just handwritten on a piece of notebook paper when she died 5 years ago. Well, the case has a lot of people wondering, can a simple piece of paper be used as an official will? What is the difference between a will and a trust? What do you really need to do? Joining us this morning is Bogin Munns Munns managing attorney Adam Towers. Great to see you, Adam. How are you?
Good morning. Great to see you as well.
Listen, I'm sure you see these cases all the time, and this isn't the first time we've seen a high-profile celebrity either with a will that just seems, kind of odd. Prince went through this. Lisa Marie Presley went through this as far as things really not being buttoned up. So how does this work? What are you supposed to do?
Sure. Well, each state has their own particular rules as to whether a handwritten will is valid. In Michigan, where the case of Aretha Franklin is pending, she had several handwritten wills and was in the process of going to an attorney, but didn't finalize that. And in Michigan, they allow a handwritten will simply if it's dated and signed and it's in the person's handwriting. In Florida, for instance, that would not have been admitted to probate. Florida also requires that there are witnesses to that will. And there's other formalities that need to be met as well. But each state will govern whether a will is valid.
What about those online wills? We see those programs, you can just go online and you kind of fill in the blank. Is that good enough? Will that hold up in a courtroom?
Potentially. But why risk that? Anything that you are doing to try and save a few bucks here and there is fraught with potential risks of it being not official. So, for instance, in Aretha's case, a handwritten will is allowed in the state of Michigan. However, she died 5 years ago, and they have spent 5 years in court fighting over those issues. And so why risk it? Go to see a competent attorney that handles that regularly in order to make sure that your wishes and desires are truly met.
And then what about the difference between a trust and a will?
Absolutely. A trust and a will operate similarly in some respects. Both of them are a way to transfer your assets from yourself to other individuals. The difference being a will only be effective at the time the person dies. And so at that point, anything left over in that individual's name that would be subject to probate would be governed by the will. That would go through the court process, and obviously the legislature and the court process is involved in how that will is set forth. In a trust, similarly, you can designate who you want to receive the assets of your estate, but you transfer those to the trust during your life. And therefore, because those are transferred during your life, they are not needed to be transferred through a court proceeding in probate. So it maintains its private and outside the court jurisdiction.
Adam, we're out of time, but I just want to ask you, at what age is it appropriate to make sure that you have this done? Because a lot of people think, I just do that when I'm old, right?
A lot of people think that, and certainly what we hear in the news are the stories of generally wealthy individuals and generally movie stars or recording artists and other individuals like that. But anyone over the age of 18 should set their affairs in order. That can be done certainly through a will, it can be done through a trust, it can be done through deeds or mechanisms. And so if you go to see an attorney, you can specifically identify your assets, your concerns, your issues, and make sure that estate planning is narrowly tailored to your specific needs so that your wishes are looked after.
Right, yeah, absolutely. It's the worst when you see somebody who goes through that situation and you have to spend years in court. Certainly not fun for the family. Adam Towers from Bogin Munns Munns, thanks so much for taking the time. We appreciate your advice this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you much.
All right, let's talk weather. Jamie Kingston.
Injured, lawsuit, a difficult family matter? Let us help. No matter your legal need, we strive to help you get your life back on track.
Choose Bogin Munns Munns.